everybody for being here this afternoon to talk about an initiative that's really important to us. As you all know, that the Austin Police Department has taken a lead role in the White House's PDI initiative, which is a public data initiative. I'm very proud of the fact that early on our department joined that initiative and has been very much leading the way in the nation in terms of providing as much data to the public as possible, being as transparent as possible, and trying to really make it seamless for folks to get information from us. In conjunction with the White House PDI, we've also been part of the 21st Century Policing Initiative, which is an initiative that the White House has launched and really led in terms of trying to make police departments as professional, as engaged, as part of the community and the community part of the police departments throughout the country, most importantly, to try to help law enforcement nationwide overcome some of the perception of policing being broken. As you all know, my position has been very clear that I believe that American policing is second to none, that as imperfect as policing can be, that the facts remain today that police officers today are better trained, better equipped, and more professional than they've ever been throughout the history of policing. With that said, we're very excited today to announce our partnership with Nextdoor. Nextdoor is a platform that I like to say is, I don't know if I should say this or not, but I don't work for Nextdoor, so I will say it. It's a platform that's really kind of a Facebook type platform for neighborhoods. It is a virtual, for me, a neighborhood watch program. It's a virtual national night out where you get to know your neighbor, work with your neighbor, work with your neighbors, work with your neighborhood to keep Austin one of the safest cities and the second safest big city as it relates to violent crime in the nation. And so for me, this platform is something that from day one, Nextdoor has proven to be a tremendous tool, and now we're here to say we're taking it to the next step. We are using Nextdoor now as a polling feature for the Austin Police Department. We believe that the city, and we love the city's annual poll, we love the fact that our city believes, and our city manager and our mayor and council believes in getting input from the community, but for the police department, we want to have a tool that will let us poll neighborhoods throughout the city on what's important to them. What are their issues? What are their concerns? What are the challenges? What are the areas that the department can do to improve? This tool with the polling feature will allow us to engage and hear from our communities on a regular, ongoing basis throughout the city of Austin. We conducted a soft launch January 29th, this Friday, and I'm happy to give you some results of that soft launch. Are you going to put them up?
Yes.
Here we go. If you look up on your screen, you'll notice that one of the questions that we were asked on this poll was, tell us your public safety concerns, what's important to you. 56% want a greater emphasis on community policing, which I think speaks to the department's desire to really capture some more time for our officers, not just our district representatives that work in community policing, but all of our patrol officers to be able to engage members of the community. 31% talked about traffic initiatives and enforcement, which is a big issue for a lot of the community. 5% downtown quality of life issues, and obviously 1% talking about special events. Generally, I feel safe in my community, in my city. That's the second question. 87% actually feel safe. 13% don't feel safe. Now, while I'm very proud of that 87%, I believe that's significantly greater than a lot of cities around the country, a lot of neighborhoods. We want to work on that 13%. We want to drill down onto what can we do to help that 13%. Can you go to the next question? Are there any more questions up? Can you do the other questions? Who's got it? We have it? Oh, okay, great. The next one is generally, no, I think we're going to go page down. There you go. Ready?
Safe in my neighborhood versus city.
Generally, I feel safe in my neighborhood. Again, it's 85% yes, 15% no, and which our numbers are really be proud of. And then how do you receive information from APD? And I think this is Nextdoor, 37%, TV news, 24%, print web, 10%, Twitter, 7%, and all the other ones are self-explanatory. The first question that I read to you, 392 neighborhood groups, 392, or 67% of them have already, this is as of Friday only, it's only been a couple of days, have already answered that. The second question, 450 neighborhoods have already weighed in, or 71%. The third question, 408 neighborhoods, or 70%. And the last question, 370 neighborhoods, or 63%. Again, what we're excited about is a tool that we're launching to create open dialogue between the Austin Police Department and the communities and neighborhoods we serve. And I want to commend all members of our community that participate in the Nextdoor platform, because I am convinced that one of the reasons we're one of the safest cities in the nation is that we have a community that is engaged, it's involved, and most importantly, it's tech savvy and willing to utilize technology to create a virtual neighborhood watch, a virtual daily national night out, because you get to interact with your neighborhoods every day, and most importantly, with this new polling tool, we'll have almost every neighborhood in this city engaging with the police department. So I want to thank Nextdoor for the partnership, and I want to thank the White House for their leadership. Even though this partnership isn't with them, it was the onus, I believe, to start the conversation for us between the Austin Police Department and Nextdoor. And with that, I'd like to invite Nextdoor to come up and say a few words, and we'll open it up to questions. And this is Robbie, who is the neighborhood city strategist for Nextdoor. Come on up, Robbie.
Thank you, Chief. On behalf of the whole entire neighborhood team, Nextdoor team, I'd like to thank Chief Acevedo for making today possible. We've moved into an era that he talked about where residents and the police can use technology to directly communicate and collaborate with each other, and we're honored to facilitate that. Nextdoor, for those of you who don't know what we are, is the free and private social network for neighborhoods. It's used by more than 550 neighborhoods here in Austin. That's over 90% of the city's neighborhoods use Nextdoor on a daily basis. Residents appreciate Nextdoor because each neighbor must verify their address before they can access their private online community. With this added sense of security, Austin residents can talk about everyday things like recommendations for a babysitter, more personal things like locating a lost family pet, or critical matters like reporting a rash of break-ins in their area. The Austin Police has been using Nextdoor since 2013, a little over 2 years now. They have used it to better connect and communicate with neighbors across the city. The district reps have done a fantastic job in actually connecting with their neighbors. Now, the Austin Police Department is going to be able to use Nextdoor polls. So it's a new feature that will allow them to issue online polls to verified residents on various topics of importance to that community and to the overall city. Nextdoor members are able to vote in the polls to provide feedback on specific programs, on policies, and overall sentiment directly to the police department in an open and transparent way. You must be a member of Nextdoor to participate in the polls. Through Nextdoor, the police department will be able to poll more than 550 neighborhoods across Austin, and they'll be able to analyze the results down from the city level all the way down to the individual neighborhood level and figure out what types of polls they need to do at the individual neighborhood level. Nextdoor is free for the residents and it's free for the Austin Police Department. The Austin Police Department will not be able to see individual member profiles, content in the individual neighborhoods. The neighborhoods remain private for the residents in those neighborhoods. The police department can reply back to responses to their own post, and that's all they can see on the site is responses to their own post. We're looking forward to taking the learnings from this initiative with Austin Police Department and creating best practices for the police departments. And we plan to spread that across the U.S. So Chief Acevedo, I'm sure, will be asked to speak at plenty of conferences talking about best practices here in Austin. And we're going to be able to help other police departments survey their residents and get feedback from them and take action upon that feedback. So thank you again to Casa Beta and for the Austin Police Department for having us today. And we're honored to have your support for this important initiative.
And can you spell your first and last name for everybody?
It's Robbie, R-O-B-B-I-E, Turner, T-U-R-N-E-R.
See, I saved them for you. With that, we'll open up the questions.
Can you tell us how y'all were utilizing Nextdoor before? It says since 2013, were y'all just using it for posts? Can you give me an example?
Well, we use Nextdoor. Actually, we utilized it for neighbors to take the lead in managing some of the challenges in the neighborhood. And for us, when we want to get a message out, we would provide it through our DRs, district representatives. The change now is that we're actually going to use it to pull and to get information from the community, from neighborhoods on what's important to them. So instead of us putting out information to the community and to the neighborhoods and neighborhoods to each other, we're going to elicit information from them, priorities from them. You know, we're a police department that although we're the 11th largest city, the fastest growing city, we want to police in a manner that's consistent with that beat cop, that neighborhood cop that we all grew up with the Mayberry type flavor, where everybody knew that officer. Well, with Nextdoor, our district representatives, our investigative teams, our entire organization can get data out to information, critical information out to well over 500 neighborhoods, 550 I think is the number. But now with this new initiative, we're actually going to be able to get their priorities and be able to pull them on what's important to them. And I think the more people we can touch, fast approaching over 100,000 members of our community here in Austin, that is something that would be very costly if we wanted to do surveying any other way. And thanks to Nextdoor and this partnership, we'll be able to survey our community, a significant percent of chunk of our community that we hope continue to grow free. And I think that's important, especially in times of tight budgets. Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a lot more police departments using Facebook, using Twitter to communicate information, and things are evolving. We're having to go to technology. Criminals are using technology. So would you say this is kind of common sense to start utilizing these kinds of resources? Well,
I think for us, I'm really proud of Ana Sabana, our public information manager, and her team. That quite frankly, when you think about social media, you go to the FBI National Academy, where they're teaching police executives from around the country and the world. We are held up as a police department that understands that social media is an absolute necessity and platform that has to be completely used to be able to be effective. And it makes me a great deal of pride when I have one of my members come back from the National Academy of the FBI and they're saying, hey, they're talking about the Austin Police Department. And so it's just, it's in keeping with the innovative nature of this city, the forward-thinking nature of the city, and the police department, and our mindset is consistent with the mindset of Austinites. And what we're hopeful is that the neighborhoods that have not signed up, there's very few left that haven't signed up. Please sign up. Please sign up. Please use this platform because A, it's free. B, like Robbie said, we can't get information that on you. It's all really, we're going to respond to you, but we're not going to get any information. It's not like a Big Brother type of thing. This is about us getting to hear from the people we serve, what's important, and so we can make better informed decisions.
Chief, how important is this, especially during a time when we have an officer deficit? We have 135 positions that need to be filled. So when it comes to community policing, you don't actually have boots on the ground, but how helpful is this in that aspect?
Well, look, I've always said from day one when I got here in 2007, you all know that this room, I mean, this place was pretty backwards when it came to use of technology. We were not exploiting technology. Our greatest force multiplier as a police department is the community. They are the force multiplier. They're our eyes and our ears. And the other multiplier that we rely on, that we've come to rely on, is technology. Whether it's the public safety halo cameras that we know have disrupted crimes, have solved crimes, have prevented crimes in terms of people knowing that they're being watched by cameras, or the Real-Time Crime Center, or the Austin Regional Intelligence Center, or Ron McKay and his shop here in our analysis division. We believe that technology and people we serve are absolutely our greatest force multipliers, and this is a perfect marriage between the people that we serve and a free technology that's available to us to fully exploit those relationships and those technologies. Anything else?
I have a question for Robbie. How many other cities are doing this type of polling?
So Austin is our first. Okay, so Austin is the first police department to use the polling. And what we're doing with Austin is we're trying to get best practices so that we can actually train other police departments in what really works and how to actually engage with their residents.
Okay, and I know there was also talk about potentially creating a feature where community members could invite police to specific conversations. Is there any status update on that feature?
Yeah, so we have a feature that we're testing in a couple of cities right now. We're calling it Share with Police. So you want to share this with your local police, and you can say yes, and then the police will get a private message that says, you know, what your post is. And then they can communicate back with you one-on-one in a private message, so nobody else in your neighborhood knows that you're communicating with them. Or if it's something that's, you know, you're talking about a rash of break-ins in your neighborhood, they don't know that right now. So you have to let them know. So this will allow them to know there's been a rash of break-ins and everybody's talking about it. They can start a post, and then people can reply back to them on that post. So that will be coming very soon here to Austin.
Robbie, how many neighborhoods are not participating in this poll aspect yet?
Not participating in Nextdoor or in the poll.
In the poll of Nextdoor, or you can do both?
So in overall Nextdoor, I think we have like 35 neighborhoods or something like that that have not joined Nextdoor in the city of Austin. And we had 70% of the 550 participated this time in these polls.
We don't know the neighborhoods, do we, that haven't participated?
Well, we do. We just got the data this morning, so we haven't actually parsed it out to go down to the district level.
Okay.
What it is.
But the poll, just so y'all remember, the poll just went up, soft launch was Friday. This is the hard launch today. So if you think about how many have actually already responded, this is community policing in a virtual environment. That's what it boils down to. It's the police department interacting, engaging the community in a virtual world that is cost effective, and in this case, it's really free. The tool is really free. So this tool will only be as effective as the community we serve. We know that Austinites want the very best in everything, whether it's public schools or policing or roads or whatever. We're a community that we all belong to that wants the best of the best, and this will work as well as the community makes it work. And as much as we've already got almost 100% participation, we don't want 100%. We almost 100%. We want 100%. So if your neighborhood doesn't have it, take the lead. It's simple. It's just go to nextdoor.com, and it takes you a minute or two to sign up and get it going.
Do you know how often you'll be doing these pollings?
Oh, it'll be going on throughout the year. This initial set of questions will remain for the next 2 weeks from Friday, 2 weeks from Friday. So basically, for almost 2 more weeks, you'll be able to use these sets of questions, and we'll take it down. And I look forward to actually pushing out the results to our neighborhoods so they know what citywide, and in specific neighborhoods, what the results are. We look forward to giving that information back.
I haven't seen the website. Is it available in Spanish as well?
So it is not available in Spanish at this point.
Is
We're
it
gonna
going to be?
work them over to get it into Spanish.
Is that 2 week wait the standard amount of time that a poll will live online?
What'd you say?
Is that 2 week time period like the standard length that a poll will?
I think it depends on what data we're trying to obtain. So there won't be one size fits all. It just depends on what we're asking for, when we're asking for it, and it'll be a case by case basis.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
And we're really going to